Hi, beautiful people. I hope you're all really well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking onto my video and for all your ongoing love and support. It's fantastic. Today's pick a card reading is a request from a subscriber called Lisa. Hi, Lisa. This request is to find out why you are still single, basically. Now, just to let you guys know, if this is the first time you've clicked onto onto one of my videos or one of my readings, I'm a very raw and honest reader. I don't cherry pick my cards, so basically, just as a sort of forewarning, just be ready and open to and willing to open to whatever message it is that you're wanting to get. Okay, so because some of these readings, especially readings like this, can be a little bit triggering sometimes. And I also just recommend people, of course, take everything with a grain of salt. So I'm this is about you guys, and you've obviously clicked onto this for a reason, and you want to find out why it is that you're still single. So let's find out why and what energies are around, and what you need to sort of work towards in order to be able to find a good relationship with someone. Okay, now we have 3 piles of cards for you to choose from. So what's going to happen is I'm going to show you the 3 piles of cards, and you are going to make a decision using your intuition, your gut instinct, whatever it is that you want to call it. Okay, so let's look at the 3 piles of cards that you guys have to choose from. So here are the 3 piles of cards. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. And remember, the question we're asking is, why are you still single? Okay, so take all the time you need to choose whatever pile it is that you want to. Look, if you want to watch all 3 piles, go for it. This is for you guys, so it's up to you, completely up to you what it is that you choose to do. But I always recommend that people just choose one pile, because then you'll get a more sort of concise and clear message. All right, so I'm going to get the reading started. So if you needed a bit more time to choose, I just suggest that you pause the video so we can get started. Okay guys, so this is pile 1. If this is the pile you chose, this is your reading. We're going to have a look at why it is that you're still single. So these are the cards. So to start off, we have the wheel. So what I'm picking up here is that I feel that you guys have a little bit of resistance around change. You definitely do want change. You definitely want to see a different outcome in the connections that you have. However, at the same time, I'm getting this feeling that you also fear change, because I kind of feel like you fear losing control a little bit, which is definitely something that's blocking you and blocks a lot of people. It's that fear around a loss of control, and we can often fear things that are unknown. And when a lot of people have issues with change, and change can be scary, but it's inevitable. So in order for there to be a change, you really need to be able to allow it to happen and go with the flow and stop trying to control things so much, is what I'm picking up here. Now, we then have the 8 of Cups clarifying this. So what this is telling me is that I'm finding that you guys find it difficult to walk away from disappointments that you've had in the past. I'm also picking up that you can perhaps be a little bit of a pessimist as well. And yeah, just spend too much time in the past, too much time thinking about connections where there has been disappointment, and where things haven't worked out for you. You find it difficult to walk away from it and to let go. I'm also picking up this energy around thinking, well, if that connection didn't work out, then this connection isn't going to work out, that if that makes sense. And also I'm picking up perhaps it's that whole comparison as well between connections and people. Perhaps sometimes you might find exes you've had in the past in new potential partners, and things within new potential partners could trigger things from the past. And because you haven't let go of it, you just think, oh, this is going to be the same situation again. And so you'll just walk away from it, or you'll be disappointed from it. So you don't really venture into it any further. So this is really where the wheel comes in, and that's really telling you that you need to be able to let go of the past in order for there to be this change that you need to make happen in order for you to have a new and successful relationship with someone, which also means letting go of the past and not being so pessimistic and thinking that, nothing's going to work and that you're not going to find a good connection, because you absolutely can. It's just really about letting go, and also letting go of that control, and that fear that's around control. Yeah, there's been a lot of disappointment. And I think there's probably the last particular relationship or connection that you may have had with someone was really, really disappointing. And but yeah, that there needs to, in order for that big change to come, you need to be able to walk away from that and not feel too heavy-hearted, and believe and know that something good will come in, because it's that whole, energy attracts energy. So if you're still in that energy of living in the past and thinking about how bad past connections were or why they didn't work, then you're just going to stay there and you're just going to keep attracting the same story. And then, it's just like self-sabotaging, right? Now, the next card I got was the Seven of Swords. Now, what I'm getting here is I feel that because you haven't been able to let go of past connections or relationships that haven't worked out, and because you are a little bit of a pessimist at times in regards to relationships, I get the feeling that you can be a little bit manipulative in regards to connections with people, and maybe not being 100% honest with yourself or others in regards to what it is that you need and what it is that you want. Perhaps you go into relationships with this kind of attitude where things haven't worked in the past, so I'm not going to fully commit, and you allow yourself to be a little bit shady and a little bit dodgy, and this is with all due respect. This is just the message I'm picking up. I'd love to hear your feedback. So yeah, this is just about just being, not being 100% with people, and maybe perhaps just being in relationships in order to be able to fulfill things for yourself on a more physical or material sense, or just, being around people that are manipulative, or something about manipulation and not being 100% honest and being a little bit sort of sneaky and bit shady. Now, we then have the Five of Wands clarifying this. So yeah, what I'm really getting here is that's caused a lot of conflict for you, and I kind of feel like it's almost like you're fighting against yourself, because I get this feeling that you do really want a good, stable relationship. But I feel like, because, as I said before, you haven't let go of this stuff in the past, it's like you're fighting yourself, and I kind of feel like it's like you're fighting against different levels of yourself, where it's like, I do want this, but I want this, and I want this, and I don't want this in a relationship. And then so that's what can cause you to sort of, come across as someone that doesn't really know what they want 100%, and can just really, you're being quite flighty with relationships, and perhaps, just take what you need, if that makes sense, just because of this past trauma that you have. and the fact that you find it very hard to change out of this type of behavior. So it causes you a lot of conflict. It causes conflict with others. It causes conflict within yourself. Perhaps, if you've had this past behavior, or if sometimes you're in a connection and you see, maybe you've been in relationships or connections, or experienced relationships or connections where you or your partner has been seeing more than just one person at a time, and it's all shady, and it's been unknown, and there's been, unloyalty, or that type of energy. And so it makes it very difficult. So this might be past relationships you've had, or maybe you've had this type of energy and it's just caused so many problems and internal conflicts, is what I'm picking up. Please take it as it resonates. Now we then have the Queen of Wands. So what this is telling me is that I just feel like you sometimes just sort of go for the wrong type of relationships, where I feel like you're kind of really attracted to really charismatic people that are really fiery and passionate. And I think sometimes you can over romanticize someone or a situation or a potential relationship. Now, the reason I say that is because we have the Ace of Cups clarifying this. So what this is telling me is this is almost just sort of saying that, yeah, I this is what I'm picking up, that you do, as I said before, romanticize potential relationships a little bit too much, rather than seeing them for what they really are. I feel that you're very much passion driven. So you really like beautiful things and beautiful people, and you're really into the aesthetics of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes that can take away from the real depth of people and what their real intentions are, if that makes sense. So maybe that's you, or maybe that's the type of people that you're attracting, and so therefore you're not really getting quality relationships, because you're not really getting to know people well, or you're not allowing people to get to know you really well, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's this definite energy around romanticizing relationships, rather than sort of seeing them for what they are, and working on your own self-love in order so that you can see things more clearly, and so that you're more in your power. Now, the last card we have is the Moon, and this is a card of advice, the last card of advice for you guys. So what this is telling me is that, as I said before, this is you romanticize things. You definitely still live in fear, and because of this, there's a lack of balance in your consciousness and in your emotions. Perhaps your hormones might be a little bit imbalanced as well. I'm just telling you what I'm picking up here, okay? So don't take this the wrong way, but yeah, there's definite fear, and there is definite not being able to see things clearly for what they are. Living under, under disillusionment. Not seeing people for what they are, not being able to, yeah, and just really romanticizing things without getting the whole picture. So pile one, I hope that resonated, and please feel free to leave feedback and comments below. Now, if you guys would like a more personalized reading, so something that's a little bit more extended, you can find all my details in the description box below. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, all my details are in the description box below. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would help support me, and that would be fantastic. And if you like this video and you think someone else might be able to get something out of it, please feel free to share it. Okay, pile one, lots of love, light, and blessings to you. Okay, we are now going to go on to pile two. So if these are the cards that you guys got, this is your reading. So let's find out what the messages are here for you. So these are the cards that you got. So we have the Nine of Stones to start with. So what I'm getting here is I feel that You are very, very independent, that you've got, you've got your own thing going on. And I think you also have, because of this, you have pretty high ideals or expectations of your partner. You expect them to also be independent. You also expect them to sort of be able to have everything together, if that makes sense. It's almost like, yeah, you almost expect perfection in people, is what I'm picking up. Now, we then have the Great Bear clarifying. So, this is just backing up what I was saying before. So, because I feel like you have this, because you have high expectations of yourself, and because you feel like you're fairly well established within yourself, you also project this onto other people. So, you expect your partner to be like this too. And that can sometimes make you come across as if you are a little bit judgmental, and you may not be like this, but maybe this is going on subconsciously for you guys. So it can make you come across as a little bit cold at times. It can make you come across as if, you're not good enough for me, or I'm better than you, or what are you going to be able to bring me that I don't already have. So that's the type of energy I'm getting here. We then have the Stag. So what this is telling me is that, yeah, I feel like you guys, because of the fact that you feel like you're so well developed within yourself, and you may possibly be, hey, because of that, it's like it's out of balance, if that makes sense. Because I think it's really fantastic when you're confident and you can hold yourself, and you're not relying on someone else. That's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you're in that sort of, if it's out of balance, you can expect your expectations, you know you're projecting them on someone else. And if you have really high expectations of yourself and you project them onto other people, if other people aren't living up to them, then there's going to be all these issues, right? So what this is telling me is, because of that, you definitely wear quite a bit of armor, which makes it difficult for people to get to know the real you. You also have these expectations that you want a partner that is really wise. You want a partner that is really knowledgeable. You want a partner that's got experience. But you still want them, you don't want them to be too old, is what I'm picking up, if that makes sense. You want them to be still youthful, and have energy, and be strong people. So there's these great expectations that you put on other people. We then have the Ace of Bows clarifying this. So yeah, I'm really picking up as well that you're expecting, you want a partner. I feel like you've got a bit of a checklist going with partners, because I'm also picking up that, yeah, you want someone that's really attractive. You want someone that's really passionate. You want someone that's got it's really creative, and that's got a lot of ambition and drive. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, as I said before, it's all about expectations, and maybe pushing them too far or too hard, or having them too high. So yeah, it's, you really want someone that has everything, because it feels like that's something that you feel that you have, which is awesome. But no one's perfect, right? And I think it's about finding someone that can balance us out. Now, we then have the Seven of Bows. So what I'm picking up here is that I feel like there's this, that you very much know what you want, and you're willing to fight to get what you want. You're willing to really put in energy into finding someone who you think is going to be the right person for you, or the ideal person for you. We then have the Ten of Stones. So I'm kind of also picking up that you are very particular about how you live, how you have your house set out, your lifestyle. It's like you have everything sort of already in order, and you really are battling away to find someone that's going to be able to meet your expectations of how you live your life, how you have your home. Maybe you have a particular way of cleaning, or a particular way of setting up your home, and I just get this feeling that there's a lack of flexibility in regards to being open to compromise much with other people. Perhaps you're a little bit stubborn in the way that you have things that you put a lot of money and time into, which is okay. But as I said before, this is why you're single, so it's not helping you to be able to soften that little bit and allow people to be themselves as well. So the last card we got for you guys is the Ten of Bows. So this is bringing home what I'm saying. I feel like connections that you've had in the past and connections you have with people feel like it's a lot of work. They feel like they have to expel a lot of energy to be able to meet up to your standards and expectations. And I also get the feeling that you might be the type of people as well that you take everything on yourself because you want things a certain way rather than allowing people to help you, and rather than just allowing the flow and allowing someone else to do something for you. And even though it might be a little bit different, it's still going to get done. But it's kind of like, sometimes I feel like it's kind of like it's my way or the highway type thing. So that's just something to take on board, okay? Because I feel like you guys work really hard and that you carry a lot on your shoulders. And sometimes I feel like you almost carry too much responsibility and you find it difficult, and you don't like asking for help, and you don't want to be able to ask help from a partner, but that's what it's about, right? If people think that you're 100% perfect and you don't need help with anything, they can kind of see that as, well, like, there's that lack of balance, or that, I think you know where I'm going with this. So it's allowing people to help you, basically. So pile 2, look, I really hope that clarified things for you and it resonated. Please feel free to leave feedback and comments below. If you would like a more personalized reading with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. If you would like to donate to my channel, that would be awesome. If not, that's cool. If you could subscribe, that would be mega awesome though. Okay, guys, lots of love, light, and blessings to you, pile 2. Okay, let's get into pile 3, last pile, but very not the least. Let's find out what's happening for you guys. So these are the cards. So to start off with, we have the Page of Wands. So what this is telling me is, I feel that offers you've been giving to people, or offers that you've been accepting from people in the past, haven't been offers that you are looking for. They've been small offers, and they've been just really sort of passionate offers. They haven't been, steady, good foundation building offers from people. We're not really into sort of pentacle energies here. This is the Page of Wands. So this is just really small offers that are passionate, but sort of just they fizzle out and don't really go anywhere. So this is either you making these offers to people, or people making these types of offers to you. You will know, okay? This is a very general reading. Now, we then have the Three of Cups clarifying. So what I'm picking up here is, absolutely, these offers are offers that are made because it's either, as I said before, it's either you making these types of offers or you accepting these types of offers, where they're just offers based around passion, around, people that are good looking, aesthetics, that real sort of superficial level. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have chemistry, wanting to find someone attractive. That's fine. However, the offers that you've been making people, or the offers you've been receiving for people, are not on a deeper level than that. And that's why they don't really go any further than just something passionate. Because it's all just really, really physical. We then have the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, this is what's blocking you, is this lack of getting further insight into what it is that you need in order to be able to attract the right person. And I know that that's why you're watching this, so you're getting some insight, okay? But this is all about being humble enough to ask others for what their experiences are, what it is that they might be able to help you with. I'm also picking up that you do get frustrated in a way, because I feel like perhaps some of the people around you maybe already have given you some advice or some sort of counsel around what it is that you need to do, but it's like you haven't really taken it on board, if that makes sense. Now, this is interesting that I say this, because then we have the Emperor. So this is telling me that this can be a man or a woman, but the Emperor energy, when it's the weaker Emperor energy, is being really stubborn, being fixated, thinking that you know everything, wearing really heavy and strong armor, which makes it difficult for people to really get to know you, thinking you know everything, as I said before. And because if you hold this type of energy, it makes it difficult for you to take on advice or knowledge from other people in order for you to, ascend and find someone more appropriate for you, or to find or offer someone a really good offer that's more committed. Now, we then have the Eight of Pentacles. So what I'm getting here is, it's almost like I feel that sometimes you work too hard, or you look too much upon like monetary things and finance, and sort of put a bit too much energy on, or emphasis around needing to have a lot of money, or needing to work really hard at things. And sometimes I'm also picking up that sometimes you're putting too much energy or money into things or connections or relationships that just aren't working out, or you're not putting the type of energy that you should be into the right type of connections. um we then have the Six of Swords clarifying. So it's almost like you don't know when to give up and when to just sort of move away from a connection that's not working with you, because it's almost kind of feels to me like it's almost like you're like, well, I'd rather be in a relationship or a connection than not be in one, if that makes sense. So I kind of get this energy that sometimes I feel like you guys will just carry on flogging a dead horse, so to speak, in order just to try and make a relationship or a connection work, rather than moving on from it and, moving on to something more appropriate, or moving on and learning what it is that you need to learn so that you can go on to something better. Now, the last card I got for you guys is the Six of Cups. So this is your last word of advice. What I'm really getting here is that I feel like sometimes you need to allow yourself to let go of control a little bit. I also feel that you may still be living too much in the past. Perhaps there's old relationships you haven't let go of yet. Perhaps you compare some of your old connections or relationships with the type of relationship that your parents did or did not have. And maybe you spend too much energy living in the past. Maybe you're hoping someone from the past is going to return. Maybe you also sort of romanticize things too much in relationships. And I think as well there's a little bit of lack of maturity and consciousness around what good connections or good relationships are, and who the right people are to make offers and to receive offers from. And that's just really clarifying what we were saying right at the beginning about either giving the wrong sort of offers or taking the wrong sort of offers that are mainly physical, rather than giving or receiving offers that are more committal, from people that are going to commit more, people that spend a little bit more time getting to know you, taking it more slowly in relationships, rather than just rushing in and then it just not working out because you haven't really gotten to know the person properly. You've just found them really good looking. A lot of people do that. Really listening to advice from other people, of course unbiased, learning from mistakes, learning from other people's experiences, not thinking that you know everything, knowing when to let go of relationships and knowing when to stop putting so much energy into something that's just not working, and not being too stuck in the past. There's something about the past, there's something about either a past relationship that you're not able to let go of. So, pile 3, I hope that resonates. Please feel free to leave feedback and comments below. If you would like a more personal reading, all my details are in the description box below. If you would like to support me by subscribing, that would be awesome. If you know someone that you think might get something out of watching this video, please feel free to share it. And thank you much for all your ongoing support and love. So until now and the next reading, lots of love, light, and blessings to you.